Jones.
Good afternoon. Here.
Chesterfield County, Ms. Smith.
Here.
Goochland County, Mr. Goyne.
Here.
Hanover County, Chair Bidunas.
Here.
Henrico County, Ms. Smidler.
Here.
New Kent County, Ms. Inman.
She emailed me. She's trying to get on.
Okay, thank you. Powhatan County, Mr. Webb.
Here.
City of Richmond, Mr. Wagner.
Here.
Thank you. GRTC, Mr. Adarkwa. Mr. Dillard. CVTA, Mr. Parsons.
Here.
Plan RVA, Mr. Bushing. Mr. Allen. VDRPT, Ms. Dubinsky. VDOT, Mr. Hagan.
Here.
RMTA, Ms. Dean. Virginia Port Authority, Ms. Nelson.
Here.
And we do have a quorum.
Okay.
Mr.
very
Dillard
well.
just came.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Very well. Thank you. So next, do we have any amendments, proposed amendments to the agenda? Okay. Seeing none, we're on to item number 5. This would be approval of both the February 9th and then the February 12th meeting minutes. The February 12th was our special meeting, you might recall. So if there are no amendments, I'll need a motion and a second.
I'll move for approval. This is Barb.
Second. This is Daniel.
Okay, excellent. Okay, we can handle this by voice vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Any abstentions? Okay, motion carries. Next item on the agenda is an opportunity for the public to address the committee. Do we have anybody wishing to address, from the public, wishing to address the committee?
Mr. Chair, it doesn't appear that we have anyone from the public.
Okay, very well. Mo is going to brief us on a change to our virtual meeting format. So Mo, this is your item.
Yes, thank you. So as you can tell, we have made a switch over from Zoom to Teams for our virtual meetings. We are trying to make it so that it's as similar to the way that we used Zoom as possible. So we sent out the registration link as we normally do. And so attendees were to click that link, that would register them for the meeting, and then you were supposed to receive a link to join the meeting about an hour before the meeting started. So the webinar invitations will continue to be in the agenda packet. You will click that link to register. You'll be able to join just as you were able to with Zoom via your desktop app, a browser, or mobile. And we will still be using the raise your hand feature in the meetings for anyone who has anything to ask or add. And when we have a public comment, we will allow them to speak, and they will be a part of the meeting, but they will only be allowed to speak during that public comment period. And we do still have the screen share and the chat for anyone who would like to use those features, and recordings will still be live streamed to the Plan RVA YouTube. I think that is it, but did we have anyone who had issues joining, or just like any questions to regarding the new platform that I might be able to address?
Anybody
Mo,
with-
I don't know if you mentioned it, but can you address the big yellow button?
Oh, sure. So Sid, correct me if I'm wrong. I think
Yeah.
we decided to go with having people join as attendees. And so I
Yeah.
don't think they do have access to the big yellow button.
Yeah, so if you are right now next to the leave button is usually where the end event button, yellow button would be. But since you all are attendees, you don't see that. If you are a presenter like myself and Chet and Mo, then you will see that button. But if you do, that's something to avoid clicking when you try to leave the meeting so that you don't end the whole event. Something, a new feature that Microsoft hasn't really figure out a way to disable it, but it is there. But if you're an attendee like you are now, you won't see that button. And correct me if any of you do see it.
Okay,
Oh,
well, go ahead, somebody.
Hey, yeah, it's Larry. Just a thought. Any interest in resending this invite as a Teams invite so that you can join the meeting right from the invite versus having to go through the whole register process?
There is a way to add your emails. I don't know there is a cap for in that process, so I haven't been able to add everybody all at once. So that's something I'm checking, but that is a good point.
Good suggestion. Okay, anything else on this item? Okay, well, thank you, Sid and Mo, for that briefing. So now we'll get into the meat of the agenda, beginning with item 8. And Chet will discuss the round 4 allocation proposal for CVTA Regional.
Yes, sir. Thank you. So this is page 16 in the packet. There's a one-page staff report, but essentially the last meeting of the authority, the board took action to approve the projects that would be funded either in part or in full using round 4 of the regional funding pot. So the next step in that would be to have the authority actually adopt the allocations plan, which is not just for round 4. It's all encompassing of every project that has received regional funding from the beginning of the authority. But it does show the schedule essentially for when different components of each project would receive funds. And that's obviously it's dependent on what type of funding you're receiving for that project, whether it's, PE right-of-way construction or just one of those phases. So this current allocations plan, which is on page 17 and 18, shows previous CVTA now, as well as FY27 through FY32 in terms of the funding years for each phase, each project. There are a couple of projects that now have, more than one funding stream, like the Richmond Marine Terminal access improvements, the short pump area improvements, I-95 Route 10. Those are broken out, so there's an indent that shows, in most of these cases, your 30% or PE costs, and then the additional funds that have been applied in one way or the other. They all have CVTA IDs, so that's the first column. It does show the Forest Hill Avenue Phase 2 project that was decided to have the funds deallocated and redistributed into the round 4 projects. And then at the end of the allocations plan, you'll see the CVTA ID numbers that are bolded. Those are all of the new projects in round 4. So they show up at the end, and that's project 73 on up to 82 that are new projects this time around. Everything else in the allocations plan, I believe, does have previous commitments from round 3 or earlier. At the bottom of the allocations plan, you'll see by fiscal year how much has been the expected revenue for each year, the awarded amount, and then the remainder in balance entry for each of those years. So you could see, FY27, the balance entry is fairly small, fairly tight. And as the framework plans out, the farther out you go, the more funds get put into balance entry, by formula, so that we can have that flexibility in the out years for unknowns and projects that may change as we get to those future years. I think the last thing to note is the far right-hand column is the notes column. So anything that might apply, showing a difference from round 4 from previous rounds, whether it's a new project or there were leverage adjustments, et cetera, those are noted there. Mr. Chair, I think this is fairly similar to previous years, but certainly, there may be members that have questions on what's contained here, or maybe even, corrections or things that we need to make sure we note. But the requested action at this point is for the TAC to recommend full authority adoption of the 2026 regional allocations plan. And this is what we'll use between now and round 5 to be our master document in terms of, the funding allocations by project, which years it'll help guide, the reimbursement process and all the project agreements, et cetera, as we move through the next 2 years. That's a quick summary. Happy to take any questions. And if I need to put anything on the screen, I apologize for that. Let me know if anybody wants to see anything in particular.
Sharon.
Hi, I just noticed one thing, otherwise I would have emailed earlier. The CVTA ID, CVTA-0075 is the same for Pulse BRT Western Extension Stations as Shaco Valley Street improvements. So that might be a typo or.
Yeah, thanks, Sharon. I'll check that and make sure we get that corrected.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I saw that too. I was going to mention that. The other thing, it may be my OCD, but I do think it does help in reviewing something like this. Like, for example, that ID column, that all the fonts are the same size and the alignment is the same. When you do that and then something's not consistent, then it just jumps out. So that's just a really minor point, but something I think helps just make it a little bit more easier to process, at least for me personally.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, we'll try and clean this up a little bit between now and the authority meeting, assuming this moves forward. Yes.
Okay, does anybody have anything else regarding this item? This is a roll call item. We'll need a motion in a second, of course. I'll move for approval.
Sharon Smidler, second.
Okay, so this is a roll call vote. First, is there any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, just to clarify, we'll fix the project IDs for the number 75.
Sure. Yeah. Understood. Okay. So, Mo, will you take a roll call vote, please?
Yes, but I missed who made the motion.
I made the motion.
Okay, thank you. Gotcha. Okay, Town of Ashland, Ms. Mertz-Gwynn.
Approve.
Charles City County, Ms. Adams.
Approved.
Chesterfield County, Ms. Smith. Ms. Walker.
Sorry, I couldn't hit my unmute fast enough.
You're fine.
Recommend approval.
Thank you. Goochland County, Mr. Goyne.
Yes.
Hanover County Chair Vidunas.
Aye.
Henrico County, Ms. Smidler.
Aye.
New Kent County, Ms. Inman. Was she able to join? Okay. Looks like no. Powhatan County, Mr. Webb.
Yes.
City of Richmond, Mr. Wagner.
Aye.
All right, motion passes.
Hey, congratulations, everybody. That was, it's pretty big to get to this point. I guess one more step, with the authority. And then, we can begin thinking about round 5. Okay, so next item, it also is an action item, and this concerns a project agreement, in Powhatan County.
Yes, sir. This is a fairly straightforward item, but it's significant in the fact that this is Powhatan County's first project agreement. So congratulations to Powhatan staff on getting to this point. This was 1.8 million for the Stave Mill Road turn lane. The draft language from the county is included in the packet, and we'll have this on the agenda for Finance Committee on Wednesday as well. This is something that, as I said, is partially executed. So the requested action is to recommend full authority approval of the project agreement as presented, and that will put the county in a place where they can start submitting reimbursement requests once it's all signed and dotted. Mr. Webb is here in case there's any additional information the county wanted to provide.
No, this is just one of our Stave Mill, Academy Road, our principal intersections we've been improving. There's some more commercial activity coming in this area. So appreciate Chet and staff working with us, and also Sarah Dutton has been instrumental with our staff members. Really has done more than I have on this. So we can thank her. So just appreciate all y'all's work at Cvta.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we'll need a motion and a second.
Suspicious. He's
This is Sharon Smidler. I make a motion for approval.
Okay,
I'll second the motion.
Okay, great. Motion and second. Any additional discussion? Okay, seeing none, this can be handled by voice vote, so we'll go ahead and I'll ask all in favor of approval of the project agreement for the Stave Mill Road Turn Lane Improvement Project, indicate by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions? Any opposition? Okay, motion passes unanimously. Yes, one more item. Well, we have several more items, but item 10, this is an item in Chesterfield County. Chet's going to speak to this, and Barb may also want to address this item.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Chair. There's a staff report on page 28 of the agenda packet, as well as an accompanying sketch. This is a project that has previous Cvta regional funds, and shoot, I had the number. Project 53. If you wanted to look at the just recommended allocations plan, you could find it there. This is a project for Route 60 that is continuing to be resubmitted by the county for smart scale funding consideration. They're looking at round 7 for additional funds on this. We have currently leveraged 22.1 million in Cvta regional, and the county is now looking at the Cvta approved scope extent for this project. The county is trying to maximize the benefit of the leverage funds and potentially reduce the length of the segment that is in the Smart Scale Round 7 application. That detail is in the staff report, but the issue we're having now is that the existing framework doesn't address redistribution of current allocations to smaller segments, even though it is the same project. So the request was for TAC members to review the framework and consider supporting this specific action. And then we can talk about, broader parking lot item later this year, possibly to address any adjustments to the framework that might apply to situations like this in the future. I think that's a quick summary on my part. I'd turn it over to Barb if she has additional detail or insight to add.
I think you covered it. If you look in your agenda packet, what we've done or what we would like to do is chop the project up into 3 sections and submit into Smart Scale this round smaller sections, which might improve their chances of being funded. The thing is, that would mean that we're shortening the project by a little bit on the western end. If you look at the map, the A to B section would fall off. And we would be using the Cvta regional that has been allocated to the project in its entirety, just for the sections B to C and then C to D. We think that based on last round's district grant allocations in Smart Scale, it kind of right sizes the project to be in line with what worked last time, even though you know how that goes. Every round is different. So I didn't want to just make the assumption that people were okay with that. I wanted to run it by the committee to see if people are agreeable. And like Chet said, that's probably something that we need to address in our framework document. And, as we took action on the allocations plan, Chet, I was wondering whether if TAC is agreeable, whether we should revise the project description in the allocations plan. In my opinion, if we wanted to pursue the part that we're chopping off, we would need to come back to Cvta. If we wanted leveraging on it, we would need to come back and request that. So, anyway, anyone have any questions?
Yeah,
Looks good.
Thank you, Chessa. I thought about this a little bit, and I really don't see any downside. I don't see where Chesterfield is kind of gaining the system. I think this is keeping within the spirit and intent of what we intended when it was set up this way. It's just that we don't have a document that covers every possible situation and scenario, as we've discovered also a little bit with Diamond District. So I'm in favor of this. I'll go ahead and make a motion. Well, this doesn't, I take that back. This doesn't require a motion or a vote. This was informational, and basically, I think just looking for concurrence here. That we have consensus, and do we have any dissenting voices? Right. Okay. I think we're good to proceed then.
I'm just going to speak up real quick. I'm sorry, I had very serious technical issues trying to get on to the system. So I do not know what we're talking about. I didn't catch what Barbara was saying. So I'm going to abstain to agreeing to anything until I know what I'm agreeing to. Thank you.
Sure. Thanks, Amy. Yeah, so this item, it doesn't require a formal vote. It was basically, we're just wanted to get the pulse of the committee with this modification, and my sense is that everybody appears to be on board with this. So
Can you please recap what it is just very quickly so I know what we're agreeing to?
Yeah, very, very quickly. Chesterfield has a project. I'm not even sure, what is the name of the project?
It's Route 60 corridor enhancements.
Yes. Why don't you, Barbie, stating what it is, why don't you summarize real
Okay.
quickly?
So if you look in your agenda packet, there's an exhibit that shows the project for which Cvta Regional has been secured previously. We submitted the entire project from A to D last round in Smart Scale, from Old Otterdale Road all the way to a little bit east of Mount Pisgah Drive. The project did not score well in Smart Scale. So this round of Smart Scale, we've chopped the project up into smaller sections, and we want to submit from B to D and then eliminate A to B. So use the existing Cvta regional money that's been allocated to leverage, but to submit 2 projects, A to C and C to D in Smart Scale. So if we ever wanted to pursue A to B, we would need to come back to Cvta if we wanted regional money to leverage in Smart Scale. So we're changing the scope by chopping off that western end and just submitting it into 2 right-sized portions that might compete better in Smart Scale.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, where we are. Okay, item 11, an opportunity for any member of the TAC to address the committee. Does anybody have any updates or anything they wish to share with the committee? Okay. Our next meeting is April 13th, 2026 at 1 p.m. and we are now adjourned. Guys, have a great rest of the week. Enjoy the weather.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.